Hello and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy Show with your host and your boy Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on Michael Datcher's YouTube channel and then at 4:45 p.m. On Facebook Live. Today we're talking about a really important topic, tenacity and productivity. What is the connection between being tenacious and being productive, right? As you may also be able to tell by the show's title, we're also interested in the idea of using joy itself as a technology to move us towards our goals and objectives. We encourage everyone on the show to start their own business that they may be able to eventually fund their own future dream uh, project. That's a really important part of what we do. You can go to productivethroughjoy.com um, to see about us. Also, of course, to the Michael Datcher YouTube channel or simply go to michaeldatcher.com. All those web sites are linked together. And so, again, today we're talking about tenacity in productivity and what is the connection between those two particular entities. Allow me to say a few words about myself for those who are new to the show. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people when I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel, Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, where, of course, Michael Brown was murdered. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. I'm currently a professor of English here in California at Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles. I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I'm the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and then subsequently gave me up for adoption to a wonderful single divorcee. Yet at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Cool Mo D famously said, "How you like me now?" Right? And if I can be this productive through joy, so can many of us who are watching this show. In fact, that my own personal narrative inspired the show in many ways. We know what it's like to go through difficulty, to emerge from a space of challenge. Because for many of us, when we do emerge from a difficult um, origin, that particular difficult origin story begins to define our future. And that begins to be our good excuse, quite frankly, as to why we cannot ball till we fall. I'm here to tell you and here to show you that we can definitely ball until we fall, um, regardless of our background, of our state of origin. All right. So again, if you're enjoying the show so far, please swipe left or right across your device to invite people to join the conversation, or just share this on your social media networks. For sure, go to uh, YouTube, YouTube, and go to the Michael Datcher channel, and certainly become a subscriber. All right. So let's dive into the show. We're talking once again about tenacity and productivity, which we'll dive into in just a few seconds. On the morning show, we like to also talk about the import of framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. At times we'll go to sleep with some trouble on our mind, and we'll take that sleep, that trouble into our sleep state, wake up the next morning with that trouble on our mind, go through our day with that trouble and the concomitant stress in our bodies. And that begins to be our week, our weekend, our day, at times our month, at times for some of us our years, and for a few of us our lives. I am saying it does not have to be that way. A, because stress is a killer. You know, stress is chemical related. The stress comes about by the release of, at least the physical impact of stress, the release of chemicals into your bloodstream. You do not want to have that stuff flowing through your bloodstream. Uh, Along with being uncomfortable, being stressed out, uh, it can debilitate your body, and you do not want that. It can take years off your life, literally. Right. So, and certainly for people of color, black and brown folks in particular, stress is a documented impactor on our health. Hypertension, all types of heart disease. Listen, stress is a killer. So we know the impact of stress. We like to really address it directly with entrepreneurs and those who simply want to live like a boss, because the show is aimed for entrepreneurs, those who have their own business, those who would like to own their own business, and those who simply would like to live like a boss. So in that living like a boss modality, what happens is that you're going to have a more pressure, and if you don't have a smart way to deal with your pressure, it can be very challenging for you. So we help people to deal with it in the context of ritual. Ritual can be defined as basically doing the same thing in this context at around the same time. So let me share my brief morning ritual with you to serve as an exemplar. So in the mornings I wake up at 3:45 a.m., including this Black Friday morning. I read a couple of spiritual or business books. I do our show here at the Michael Datcher channel on YouTube at 4:45 until 5. At 5, I work on my current novel until basically the sun comes up, which is around 6 o'clock here on the west coast of California. And then I go to the beach. I live along the coast here in Venice Beach, California. I bring my drum out. I meditate, pray, do yoga. It's a really beautiful time. Then I come back, work on my current book for a while longer. Then I go back to the beach, run up the coast, come all the way back to Venice to go to my gym, go to the gym to get my workout in, get my buff on. So guys, by 9:30, I'm feeling amazing. My body is being flooded with endorphins, and that endorphin release moves me towards my goals and objectives. All right. So I'm reading two great, which for me, of course, involve consulting, real estate, and publishing. I'm reading two great books now as part of my morning reading. One is the Nag Hammadi Reader, which is kind of a book of ancient scriptures, and also a book by Jen Sincero called You Are a Badass at Making Money. It's kind of a wealth mindset book, having a healthy attitude about wealth and passing along to your kids especially. It's really powerful and funny too, and insulting in some ways, which I won't get into right now. But so from those two books, I extract some wisdom, which I call the morning chant. In today's morning chant is, as a meditating natural mystic, love for my family makes me tenacious about abundance. As a meditating natural mystic, love for my family makes me tenacious about abundance, right? I think about that idea throughout my day. I place it on my phone, for example. I contemplate that specific idea throughout the day, and also create the morning show right now, an afternoon show based upon that morning chant. So today we're talking about tenacity and abundance. So again, go to productivethroughjoy.com. Indoor, go to michaeldatcher.com. Certainly go to the Michael Datcher YouTube channel. Become a subscriber. It's free. You have access to all the videos and alerts. It's a great thing to have when you're endeavoring to really live in abundance like a boss, right? That's one of our taglines. So live in abundance like a boss. Being wealthy doesn't have to be some weird thing. You can use the wealth to help people in your family, in your community, help yourself, of course. So it's a good thing. Okay, do good on the planet. So let's dive in. So today we're talking once again about tenacity and productivity. Point one is that you want to build your tenacity. How do you build tenacity? I think people think that there are folks who are tenacious and then those who are not, and that some of that is true. Certain people are predisposed or have a track record of being tenacious. Other folks are not as inclined to be tenacious, and or that has not been their history. And in the middle, in the large center, there are the rest of us, and probably the majority of us, who has some flexibility at developing that. Well, how do you develop tenacity? Well, you want to do it, and we call it in preparation, by doing your personal due diligence, right? You want to develop your why, as we say, right? Your why. Like, why do you want to do something, right? You want to develop the why. So, as I said in the morning chant, I am tenacious about abundance because I want to spend time with my kids, my beloveds. I want to do things for them. I want to travel with them and have our time spent with me, not always working, although I love writing and love things that I'm teaching, things that I do, and love this business, but it does take time. And so abundance gives me time to hang out and just do fun things with my kids and my beloveds. Listen, so that's my why. So that drives me. But you have to do the due diligence in figuring out what is your why, because that will lead to you becoming tenacious. So for me, it's love of my family, love of the folks who I care about, that drives me to be tenacious even when things are getting challenging. Okay, you can develop that by connecting, doing your due diligence to yourself about your why. Like, why do you want to have wealth? Why do you want to uh, have this extra resource pool around you? Right. For me, it's about family, friends, and my time. Right. Which goes next into point two. Once you figure out your why, you want to do the things that can make the service of your why more um, effective. That was a long way of saying you want to prepare, once again, yourself to be effective at getting your why to the place of motivation. What does that mean? Well, it means doing your inner work. So we help people work with meditation and various modalities. I do meditation, yoga, Pilates. That's just my own. Those are my own running, my own personal choices. But we hope to develop a system for people uh, that they can lean upon every day in a ritualized way, because life happens to us every day. It's good to have a ritualized way in the morning, in particular, to start your day, that you can tap into every single day to prepare yourself forward in the day that is to come. So that's what we do. Um, in our individual work. Of course, we also speak to, of course, schools, colleges, and organizations, nonprofits, and a special program for the youth, because we believe in the youth clearly, and know the youth is the future. So we like to really deal with young people especially. And so we have these powerful kind of group programs as well. So the ideal is that helping people to work on creating rituals that they may be fully empowered to go do, to go be inspired by that why, which goes into point three. As you get a hold of your why, as you do the work to allow you to defend the why, support the why, for me it's my family and my beloveds, then you begin to see an extraordinarily uptick in, I'll just call it joyful energy. You're more energized because you're doing that morning ritual. I mean, right now, what is it, like 4 o'clock right now? 4:35, it's almost 5 now. Look at this face. I'm up on Black Friday, a black man up on Black Friday, not shopping, but sharing. That was top of the head right there, guys. And so this could be you. You can be in a space where joy can actually be a motivating, productive factor in your life in terms of helping you get things done, but also you get the benefit of just being in joy. You know, as we talked about earlier, how when you're stressed because you've embraced these problems, um, how that endorphin release breaks you down. But when you are in joy, that's also uh, a chemical related feeling. When you're in joy, your body's releasing chemicals into your bloodstream that make you feel this feeling, which enriches you, which makes you feel youthful, which gives you the energy that you need to go do what needs to be done. And then you're feeling great, and your body responds to it too. That's the other, the last point. As you're living this lifestyle, you're not just feeling better, but your body is responding better. You're looking better. You're actually kind of glowing, and people are drawn to your light. Right? That's the great fringe benefit. People are drawn to your light, and they'll want to be on your team and help you also um, achieve your goals, because people want to be a part of something big and dynamic and interesting. We've got a grand vision. People will want to latch onto it. There will be some haters, some users, but that's going to always happen. And you have to be mindful of that and make good decisions. But generally, it's a good thing. You know, when you spread light like the light on a hill, it attracts people. You're able to go do more good on the planet, and able to help people find their own why and shine their own light, so they will then in turn attract people to them. And then you're building a community of lights, and it's a beautiful thing, guys. It really is. So, boom, goes to dynamite. That's it for today's show. We air each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. Here on the YouTube channel, Michael Datcher's YouTube channel, and then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. We're a show aimed at those who want to live in abundance like a boss. Please reach out. Go to the YouTube channel, become a subscriber. It's free. Go to productivethroughjoy.com. See about us. We speak to universities, schools, and organizations. We have a great youth program that we speak to as well. We also do, of course, private one-on-one consulting with individuals, primarily entrepreneurs. Thanks for being here. We'll see you at 4:45 p.m. today. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.